Right. So as I was telling, whenever there is cellular level damage, arachidonic acid is produced, and here arachidonic acid gets converted into either prostaglandins or it can get converted into leukotrienes. Okay. Some of the arachidonic acid get converted into prostaglandins. For example, let's suppose there are 100 molecules of arachidonic acid. Depending on the concentration of COX and LOX, if there is more amount of cyclooxygenase, more prostaglandins molecules are made. If there are more molecules of lipoxygenase, more molecules of leukotrienes are produced. Both of these, prostaglandins and leukotrienes, are mediators of inflammation. Okay? Think of it this way. Let us suppose in a neighborhood at night there is some robbery going on. Okay? And let's suppose someone actually sees that robber, or someone actually sees someone jumping a compound wall or something similar. Okay? There is a robbery going on, and let's suppose some neighbor or some fellow is seeing that this what do you call robber is jumping the compound wall or something like that. They immediately start shouting. That fellow, the process which has started is inflammation. That fellow is essentially indicating to other people that there is robbery going on here. Okay? As a result, what will happen is, now this fellow is starting, right? This fellow started shouting, other people will also start to gather. These mediators of inflammation are informants in that scenario. ठीक है, ये प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन्स ल्यूकोट्राइन्स जाके क्या करते, दूसरों को बुलाते. ये दूसरे in this scenario are neutrophils, WBCs, your immune cells and other cells that will start getting involved in the inflammation. ठीक है. Here, whenever there is especially prostaglandin involved, prostaglandins are responsible for pain. They are responsible for several reactions. Okay? They are responsible for inflammation by triggering bradykinin release and histamine release from your mast cells. They will cause hyperalgesia. Prostaglandins can cause hyperalgesia. So analgesia means lack of pain. Hyperalgesia means increased sensitivity to pain. Prostaglandins can sensitize the nerve endings to pain. Okay, increased sensitivity to pain on your nerve endings will cause that area to start hurt. Okay, that area wherever the inflammation is occurring, even without any external stimulus, without you touching that area or without you causing any injury externally, that area will start to hurt a lot. This is happening because क्या बोलते हैं वहां पर hyperalgesia हो रहा. Specifically what will happen is, over time, as you know, inflammation mein plasma will start moving into your cellular this what you call tissue space. Wahan par jo nociceptors रहते, what are nociceptors? Ever heard of nociceptors? पेन रिसेप्टर्स को बोलते हैं nociceptors. These will be present at your tissue level. ठीक है, small bundles of nerves. These are small neurons essentially that will act as receptors for pain. ठीक है, whenever you touch something, or let us suppose you even uh, let's suppose you push your finger into your forearm. ठीक है, you'll be able to feel the finger, right? That is happening because of nociceptor stimulus. If you cause any injury, or if there is any type of what you call burn, or let's suppose any type of injury altogether, that stimulus is sent through your nociceptors. यहाँ पर prostaglandins will sensitize these nociceptors even more. As a result, whenever edema also occurs because of inflammation, that will press these nociceptors even more, triggering even more pain. ठीक है, so that local pain is occurring because of prostaglandins. Other than that, prostaglandins का एक और काम रहता, ये क्या करते, they will act on your hypothalamus whenever there is increased amount of prostaglandins. Now this might be because of see, जो भी pyrogen है, this will cause pyretic effect. Essentially it will increase your body temperature. Whenever prostaglandins are increased, this increase might be because of a pyrogen. In this scenario, the pyrogen is a, let's suppose, a bacteria or a virus or any cause of cell injury. Okay, that cause of cell injury is causing the release of prostaglandins. Whenever prostaglandins are increased, or the synthesis of prostaglandin increases, they will reach your hypothalamus. And what they do in your hypothalamus is, now you know hypothalamus has one important function there. It has several important functions. One of its important functions is regulation of temperature. I hope you know this. Your hypothalamus is responsible for maintaining your body temperature. ठीक है। सो नॉर्मली आपका बॉडी टेम्परेचर कितना रहना? व्हाट इज द नॉर्मल ह्यूमंस बॉडी टेम्परेचर?
98.6 degree Fahrenheit.
ओके, व्हाट अबाउट इन सेल्सियस? अगर फ़ारेनहाइट की स्केल नहीं मिली तो क्या करते हैं? नहीं नहीं, मेरे को खाली फ़ारेनहाइट में ही
37.
देखना आता। 37 है पक्का? 30 37 थोड़ा ज़्यादा नहीं है?
37 point.
Yes, sir. That is
अच्छा, द कन्वर्जन रेट इज C/5 इज इक्वल टू F minus 32/9. जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस एट ऑल टाइम्स, ठीक है। ये एक फॉर्मूला आप याद रख लिए तो you'll easily be able to convert Fahrenheit into Celsius and Celsius into Fahrenheit, ठीक है। You are essentially comparing melting points and boiling point and freezing point of both of these scales. अगर आप ये एक याद रख लिया तो एक दूसरे में कन्वर्ट करना बहुत ईजी रहता, ठीक है। Anyway, for now, someone was telling something else. 37 है, कम है, ज़्यादा है, क्या है? I think it was Sai Kumar or someone. I didn't exactly hear
36
clearly.
अच्छा है.
अच्छा ठीक है, 36 to 37 ले लेंगे, जान दो। 36 to 37 के बीच में, somewhere in between that. All right. Now, this is a normal temperature registered by your body, or specifically your hypothalamus technically acts as a thermostat. ठीक है, hypothalamus क्या करता है? It will maintain a basic threshold temperature. That threshold temperature is this, ठीक है। Your body is being maintained at 96.6. This is normal because your bodily functions can occur normally without damaging your organs at this body temperature. Hence, your body likes to maintain the body temperature at this. ठीक है, your hypothalamus likes to maintain its temperature, your body's temperature at this 98.6. Whenever prostaglandins start getting accumulated near your hypothalamus, what happens is this threshold increases. So ये जो 98.6 which is considered as normal, that will increase. Let us suppose it is becoming 101 degrees Fahrenheit, ठीक है। For your body this will become the new normal, or at least for your hypothalamus it will think that this is the new normal. That is happening in response to prostaglandins. Remember, fever is always an indicator that there is something wrong in your body. It might be injury, it might be whatever it is, but fever is an indicator that there is something wrong in your body. Fever or pain, normally your body should, normally anyone should not be feeling any fever or pain until and unless they have a specific condition, or they have a inflammatory condition or a disease as such. तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा, इन हाइपोथैलेमस एज प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन concentration increases, it will change the temperature set point. जो 98.6 पे सेट था उसको चेंज कर देता. So essentially it is resetting the thermostat, because of which what happens is sweating will get enhanced, cutaneous vasodilation will occur to promote heat loss. That is an automatic response of your body. Whenever a patient has higher body temperature, whenever they have fever, नॉर्मली वो लोग स्वेट नहीं करते उतना, ठीक है। if you are able to induce sweating in those patients, generally the body temperature will come down. That is why you will generally see that if you are taking some a drug like paracetamol, uh, patient will generally start urinating a lot, or they start sweating quite a bit. That is in order to decrease their body temperature, ठीक है। So that is the importance of cyclooxygenase, and specifically you have to remember that COX-1 से ज़्यादा COX-2 को inhibit करना ज़्यादा important है, because COX-2 is the one that is responsible for inducing inflammation, or it is induced by inflammatory cells specifically. This COX-2 will in turn cause prostaglandin release, and those prostaglandins will cause the prostaglandins that are specifically formed, the prostacyclins बोलते हैं लोगों को technically. These are more responsible, PGE2, PGI2 एंड प्रोस्टासाइक्लिन्स, ये ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल रहते हैं इन्फ्लेमेशन के लिए एंड इन्फ्लेमेटरी डैमेज के लिए. They will also trigger the formation of cytokines, and they will mediate inflammation. So it is more important if you can specifically target COX-2, ठीक है, rather than targeting COX-1, because COX-1 has some important functions. Example is, COX-1 is responsible for making sure that there is not in excessive amount of acid in your stomach. You know that under the stimulation of prostaglandins, your parietal cells, or specifically your goblet cells, will start producing more bicarbonate and more mucus. That is specifically happening under the action of COX-1. अगर COX-1 को आप inhibit कर दिए तो acidity भी हो सकती, ठीक है, that is a big problem actually with NSAIDs. NSAID abuse की वजह से, when you are discussing about PUD, I told you people who abuse NSAIDs like ibuprofen, aspirin, ketoprofen या paracetamol, उन लोगों के अंदर acidity बहुत common है. That is because it is inhibiting both COX-1 and COX-2. Even though inhibition of COX-2 is beneficial, inhibition of COX-1 can be detrimental because it is leading to acidity. It will also cause some other problems which we'll discuss later in the chapter, but you get the point here. ये समझ में आया what is cyclooxygenase, how it is formed, what is its significance, what are the types? See, if you didn't understand, because this is the only mechanism of action in NSAIDs. All of the drugs in NSAIDs will only follow this mechanism. आप एक बार ये mechanism लिख दिए, बाकी के कितने भी drugs लिखते जाओ, it will be the same. Only their PK/PD parameters, their uses will change slightly and their doses will change. बस बाकी का पूरा same रहता. Mechanism of action is the same. Okay, I'll take that as a yes then. If you have doubts, you can stop me and ask. Okay, it's not a problem. आप कभी भी पूछ सकते हैं. Right. Now, coming to the drugs per se, we'll start off with the poster boy, as I told you, aspirin. Now, aspirin is a very special drug. Depending on the dose that you give, aspirin can act as an analgesic. Now, keep in mind, aspirin is not a very good antipyretic drug. Okay, it will not decrease body temperature as much. करता, but उतना अच्छा नहीं करता. Aspirin has a very good analgesic effect though. It can decrease body pain very well. It will not be able to decrease body temperature as much. That is why generally you will find aspirin being given with paracetamol. You'll find combinations of aspirin and paracetamol being given together in a single dose. Like you'll find tablets which have combination of those two. So as I was telling, aspirin can act as an analgesic. This is generally at a dose of about 300 to 600 milligrams. Okay, single tablet. If you give it at a higher dose, let's suppose you give it at 2 grams or 3 grams, much higher dose, it will act as an anti-inflammatory drug. Anti-inflammatory specifically मैं कहाँ पर use कर रहा हूँ? Patients who have autoimmune disorders, patients who have immune problems, उनके अंदर when I want to suppress the your immune system, वो condition में आप anti-inflammatory way में use कर सकते हैं इसको, ठीक है? At that dose. Then if you use it at 75 mg, very small dose, this will act as an antiplatelet agent. Now patients who have cardiovascular problems or patients who have history of myocardial infarction, unke andar, now if you have any relative that you know closely who has had a heart attack or they have any angina or they have let's suppose atherosclerosis, unke andar doctors will generally prescribe them low dose aspirin. That low dose aspirin is supposed to be taken every day. ठीक है, रोज सुबह में उन्हें एक छोटी गोली डाल लेते हैं एस्पिरिन की. The point here is to make sure that the patient it does not develop severe problems. When you take aspirin at a low dose, it will act as an antiplatelet agent. Essentially, it is helping in avoiding clot formation. As a result, what will happen is, especially in patients who are more susceptible to myocardial infarction or more susceptible to any cardiovascular problem because of, let's suppose, hypertension, या if they have atherosclerosis, so on and so forth, उनके अंदर हार्ट अटैक होने का चांस कम रहता, एंड हुआ भी तो उतना सिवियर नहीं रहता. Keep this in mind always. Whenever a patient has heart condition, it is better to keep a few tablets of aspirin handy. ठीक है, आसपास रखो एस्पिरिन. इफ द पेशेंट इज हैविंग हार्ट अटैक, आप क्या कर सकते हैं, आप इमीडिएटली एस्पिरिन का अगर डोज दिए, इट विल गिव यू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ टाइम. यू गेट व्हाट यू कॉल फास्ट रिलीज एस्पिरिन टैबलेट्स एज वेल. वो क्या बोलते हैं, सबलिंगुअल मिलते हैं, दे एक्ट वेरी क्विकली. यू गेट सर्टेन डोसेज फॉर्म्स वेर इन they will get absorbed very quickly and will start acting quickly. If you keep them in your home, what will happen is, let's suppose, God forbid, one of your parents or someone you know closely have a heart condition or they have any cardiovascular condition as such, and let's suppose they are suffering from heart attack at one point of time. So even if it is stroke, At that point of time, if you immediately give aspirin, it will give you some amount of time wherein you can actually reach the hospital, and it will give that patient some time for their body to react to that problem. ठीक है, थोड़ा extra time मिल जाता है, which those precious seconds are very very important. Till the time you get to the hospital, if you are not able to provide the patient with any help, there is a chance that the patient might die on the way to the hospital altogether. अगर आप एस्पिरिन जैसा कुछ ड्रग दे सके, एस्पिरिन ही दे सके, तो बहुत अच्छा रहता. Okay, I hope you get the point here. It's better to keep a few drugs of aspirin or few tablets of aspirin handy, especially quick release tablets. अलग अलग dosage forms रहते हैं, sustained release, quick release. Quick release are those that will get absorbed quickly. Okay. Now, as I was telling, aspirin came. We'll look at the pharmacological effects of aspirin. First, we'll look at the analgesic effect or its effect with analgesia. So obviously it will relieve pain, specifically of inflammatory origins. Prostaglandins will sensitize the tissue to pain because they are sensitizing the neurons in that tissue space to pain. When you give aspirin, it will inhibit prostaglandin synthesis locally, and as a result, any pain that generates from that area, especially integumental structures, for example, muscles, bones, joints, skin, connective tissue, ये पूरों में से जो पेन हो रहा वो रिलीव हो जाता. ठीक है, it will not work on a visceral pain. Keep that in mind. If the patient is having, let's suppose, cirrhosis, okay, example, there is a pain of cirrhosis. If there's a patient of cirrhosis, उनके अंदर because of cirrhotic damage, liver abdominal pain बहुत severe रहता. तो वो केसेस में एस्पिरिन उतना अच्छा काम नहीं करता बिकॉज वहां पर विजरल पेन हो रहा, डल पेन हो रहा, देयर इज ऑर्गन लेवल पेन. दीज विल वर्क ऑन अ मोर सरफेस लेवल. ठीक है, जो इंटेग्यूमेंटल स्ट्रक्चर्स है उनके ऊपर ज्यादा अच्छा काम करते हैं, शार्प पेन पे ज्यादा अच्छा काम करती है. ठीक है, and pain is relieved without causing any euphoria or hypnosis. Hence, there is no development of tolerance or no development of dependence altogether. That is the biggest advantage of NSAIDs over opioid analgesics. Any NSAID will not cause any dependence, neither will it cause development of tolerance. There is no chance of addiction. Technically, there is a chance, but because see the patients will क्या करते, for example, मैं छोटा छोटा पेन भी रहा तो दे विल नॉट एड्रेस द कॉज ऑफ दैट पेन. ठीक है, दे विल स्टार्ट टेकिंग एनसेड्स एंड दे विल स्टार्ट अब्यूजिंग एनसेड्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, let's suppose someone has back pain. There is a very it is very common to see people who abuse NSAIDs a lot. Ibuprofen या paracetamol या कोई और NSAIDs, ketoprofen, रंदो, whatever it is, they keep taking that without addressing the actual problem, the problem that is causing their back pain. ठीक है, it might be a number of issues, but that back pain is, let's suppose sciatica है या जो भी है back pain हो रहा है उनको, they're not addressing the issue, they're just taking a drug to relieve that pain. That can cause addiction though, but that is again, it will not be as severe as opioid analgesics, but it can damage your kidneys and liver. ठीक है, anyway, that is the analgesic effect of aspirin. We'll discuss about the rest of the effects of aspirin tomorrow. Okay, class is about to end.